Put that in perspective, if my math is correct here, that's averaging over 20 wins a year for 20 years.
That's amazing.
That is a lot of wins chalked up. Well, it's a milestone not many high school coaches will ever reach, especially while coaching at just one school. But tonight, St. Xavier's head basketball coach Dick Berning is hoping to chalk up win number 500. And as Steve Esposito tells us, for Coach Berning, it's just part of his job.
Hey, look, forward, come on down here, then get up here, get a quick pass there, okay?
For 35 years, Dick Berning has been the head basketball coach at St. Xavier High School. Give a great coach that many years, and the result will be a boatload of wins. But the 58-year-old Berning downplays his 500 victory milestone, saying all it really means is that he's been around a long, long time.
I was lucky to the extent that I started off as a varsity coach my first year, and that's very rare today. The situation when I came in the one coach had gone to another school, so they had to take kind of a warm body approach. And Tom Balbo was coaching both football and basketball, and he wanted to stay with football, so I took the basketball.
If you look back at all the tradition at X and all the great players that he's coached, it's really an honor to play for him.
Coach B was already working on win number 300 by the time the kids on this year's team were even born. And although the players have changed on down through the years, Dick Berning has never lost the ability to communicate the game of basketball.
We work really well together. I mean, he really knows what's going on with us in school and all the pressures that we have. So we really communicate really well together. So it's really nice to have a coach like that.
35 years is a long time, and he's learned a lot over the years on what techniques to use on different players, because there's all different kinds of players out there. And also, I think he's a great communicator. He really communicates and cares with the kids out there and makes us work hard.
And speaking of working hard, few coaches get as involved in a game as does Dick Berning. Using his color schemes to call his offensive and defensive plays, Berning is the basketball tradition at St. X. But how much longer will he continue to coach?
I think I go 1 year at a time. And I've always felt that the way I look at it is if I enjoy it, and if I feel like I'm not cheating the kids, if I'm putting forth an honest effort, I enjoy it, I feel like the kids are getting something out of it, I'll keep on doing it. But when it gets to the point where it's a job, I have to start thinking about it against them.
And I guess that's the kind of attitude you have to produce 500 wins. Steve Esposito, Eyewitness 12 Sports.
And St. X hosts Anderson tonight as Coach Berning goes after the big win. The game time is at 7:30. A lot of the old players have come back to hopefully help them celebrate tonight.
Yeah.
Do you have a coach like that that really meant a lot to you?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of...
Glad it's over, because it got very hectic in a couple of days. I really think that, although we tried not to make a big deal, I think the kids really felt the pressure. We were as tight as drums out there tonight.
And as Bombers played well tonight, Ricky Jones here feeding Mike Schulefeld underneath. As Xavier playing very well. Anderson wasn't going to roll over, though. Scott Ham drives the middle. He had 13 for the Redskins. Andy Kerrison with the nice fake underneath. In with the basket. He led X with 17 points. And also the long-range basket here by Ed Musbach for the three-pointer. And then the celebration begins for Coach Berning as the Bombers win it 57-39 over Anderson. And college basketball's number 3 rated team upset tonight. I'll have that story.
Been at St. X for years, but what he got tonight was better than any gold watch. Tonight, Dick Berning coached his 500th career win, and it has been since 1955 since Berning has huddled his players around in game after game. Bomber fans out tonight with the 500 banners for St. X and Anderson, and if you play for one of Berning's team, you got to know the backdoor play, which works to perfection here. St. X up by 3 at the half. But after St. X outscored Anderson 15-2 in the third quarter, the countdown was on. The Bombers blow out the Redskins. Mike Stagnero taking it to the baseline, and it's good. And St. X wins 57-35 as the players hoist the coach onto their shoulders. Dick Berning becomes the first coach in Cincinnati to win 500 games.
It's tough on the kids, I think. Getting in the game tonight, I think the first half we were really tight offensively, and we really had problems moving the ball. I think everybody was trying so hard, we weren't getting much done.
Yeah, but Dick Berning got it done tonight. Way to go, coach. All right. Yes, sir. All right, now the rest of the Ohio high school numbers tonight, which I think is important to get to. Baden and Princeton were both winners. Purcell Marion beats Glen Estee, and throw a big win tonight.
Win for St. Xavier tonight and their veteran head basketball coach Dick Berning. The Bombers best Anderson 57-39, and in the bargain, present Berning with his 500th career win at the school. With 500 hanging over his head, players young and old and fans including Tim Mahoney, Marty Wolf, Gary Massa among them, turned out for Berning's indisputable coaching logic.
You can't go through the guy, you gotta run around him. Well, they call on you.
That's right, calling on you. Junior guard Andy Karazm shows the benefit of Berning's coaching, working for the open shot, hitting for 2 of his game-high 17. Anderson not rolling over, though. Scott Ham saw that as he hit for 13. Dave Wohl did his part there. But a 15-2 scoring drought in the third quarter proved the deciding factor as the Bombers went to 6-5 and Berning up his career mark to 500 wins, 249 losses.
Thank you. For all the students that came out tonight, we couldn't lose this ball game with the support we got from the students tonight.
John Popovich with more on the Bombers veteran coach tomorrow at 5:30. Elsewhere in high school hoops tonight, Fairfield a big winner over Sycamore, Fayetteville by 57 points, Hillsborough a 22-point winner, Boone County by 35, Princeton over Moeller by 16 points, and Maysville overtime best. The beauty of this piece here is that Dick Berning from St. Xavier High School let us put a wireless microphone on him last night as he went about the business of his 500th career win, so we can hear cleanly and crisply how he instructs his players. But St. Xavier High coach Dick Berning, I'm sure, was taking a lot of congratulatory calls today, and I'm sure he took time with each well-wisher. That's the kind of man he is, and that's the kind of response one could expect when you've achieved the level of success that he has. A level he elevated to new heights last night. Sports director John Popovich with more.
Today's lesson deals with an unpredictable sport, anxious players, and a white-haired coach. It deals with loyalty and commitment, and with a message seldom heard these days.
Winning wasn't always the most important thing. It's really, sounds kind of corny, but how you played the game.
It's the lesson of Dick Berning, whose classroom is the basketball court.
I think there's a lot of fun. You walk out in a foyer, there's a couple thousand people up in the stands screaming, and not all for your own team either.
Dick started here in the chairs back in 1955. There have been great years since, and less than great years. But add them all up, and there were 499 wins. Only the Anderson Redskins stood in the way of number 500.
And man-to-man, try to get that ball inside.
Berning was sweating the game, forgetting the fans, and regretting the cameras that noted every bounce of the ball. Many bounces that weren't going the Bombers' way.
You're right there. Wise can't commit that far out. This man's on the block. I mean, he's out here 9 feet from everything.
Dick Berning uses each and every event on the court to teach.
There's a couple of the lessons you learn when you look back on it. It's teamwork. I think that's what it's all about. You learn later on in life that that's a very valuable lesson.
Tim Mahoney is a former student. So is Gary Massa. So is Chip Reeves.
Coach Berning is a great basketball coach, but as a person, he's even better.
But last night, the Bombers were tight. Anderson took the second quarter lead.
Don't force the pass. Be a little more patient.
Things improved, but not dramatically. The Bombers held only a slim lead heading into the locker room.
And he was kind of upset. He was doing his normal coaching job.
The coaching job. He's been doing it twice as long as these kids have been living.
Don't throw it inside. Heads up, run around him. Oh, tough. Just got to be a little more relaxed on offense, a little more patient.
It started to sink in. They worked it inside. That opened up the outside. It also opened up the score and also the door to win number 500. As the final seconds ticked off, Dick Berning was hoisted up by his players. They made history.
You know, he's a guy that if I ever have a son, hopefully someday he could come back and play for him. I hope he can last another 35 years or so.
Don't count on that, but don't wish him good riddance either.
You learn lessons in sports you don't learn them anywhere else in high school, I don't think.
And that's the lesson of Dick Berning, who's won 500 games, but has affected many more people, too numerous to count. John Popovich, Channel 9 Sports.
Congratulations, Dick. Enough said.
Thanks, Denny.
Well, if you have children, then yes, Mike Wood. Key GCL showdown at St. X. The Bombers' Mike Stagnero, being the smart kid he is, beats the Crusader press, finding Mike Hulefeld, who tips to Ed Muspach, who cans the three. But Muller's David Bell, Buddy's boy, rings up a big play, feeding Chris Temmings. Persistence pays for Temmings, who keeps at it, and keeps at it until he finally collects the bucket. But the Bombers with just a little too much tonight. Muspach to Hulefeld, who will come up with the deuce as the Bombers win by 7, 69-62. It was McNicholas over Amelia, Georgetown down Eastern Brown, Elder Big over Purcell Marion, Oak Hills down Coleraine, Springboro and Peebles both posted wins. It was capable
on the cut, and it pays big dividends.
Big Mo countered with a favorite in the Crusader arsenal, a long-range bomb by talented guard David Bell. St. X always seemed to find the open man. Watch guard Mike Stagnero hook up with J.R. Anderson in the paint. The blonde bomber nails the fall-away over Chris Timmy. Moeller's Matt Messersmith counters with a nice move on his own down the lane as he fakes baseline and spins out with a two-pointer off the window. But once again, it was good ball movement by the Bombers. That was the key as Eddie Musbach winds up with the leather and the 2 on the scoring column on the 18-footer. Moeller played it close, but St. X prevailed 69 and 62.